you guys, and welcome back to the Fun with Some podcast. If you're here and you're about to listen to this episode, thank you so much. We are currently streaming on YouTube and Spotify, and I believe this is our 5th episode. So today, I think this episode I really want to talk about, I like to talk about things that resonate with me, especially at like times that they resonate with me, because I feel like it gives me such like a fresh outlook on things, and I just like the more I talk about things, the more I also realize things. So I thought, I really want to talk about this. Today's episode is going to be about putting yourself first. Like, truly putting yourself first above everybody else, above everything else that might be coming about everyone else's needs. Putting your own needs first. And I feel like this is specifically targeting the people pleaser in me, because the people pleaser in me loves to put other people first and forgets to put herself first a lot. So if you're listening and you think you might be a people pleaser, please put yourself first. Put yourself first for once. If something benefits someone else a lot but it doesn't benefit you that much, put yourself first. Now, when I specifically talk about putting yourself first, if you love like helping other people and doing things for other people, I'm not necessarily saying don't do them, but I feel like honestly this episode is mostly going to be about being a people pleaser, I think, and also kind of like things along the side of that, but I feel like it's mostly going to be targeted at being a people pleaser because that's where I resonate with it most, and I feel like that's the most spot where you need to put yourself first, because when I really think about it, putting yourself first means putting your own needs above someone else's. I think there's also the side of like putting yourself first as in doing something hard, but doing it because you want to put yourself first. So I think I'm going to talk about both of those kind of sides. But we're going to start with people pleasers, and then I think in the second part we're going to talk about putting yourself first even if it's a hard situation. As a professional people pleaser, I love doing things for people. My love language is doing things for people, doing big things, little like things, like whatever it is. I love doing things for people and making people happy, aka people pleaser. I've also learned that being a people pleaser, it can stem from other things you have gone through. It could also just be a part of your personality. I'm like not an expert, obviously. I have noticed in myself that I people please so much that like I will put myself out if it makes the other person happy. Like even if they don't know I'm putting myself out. Like for example, making yourself broke, like buying someone a gift that's super expensive because you really want them to enjoy their gift and have a nice gift, where like on the other side of that though, it's making you broke and you don't actually have money for it. I have done that so many times, but I don't care because I love buying people gifts. But you could just buy someone a gift, like a thoughtful gift. You could still put thought into it without having to make it expensive. I've also noticed it where I have stuff like having stuff I need to do and someone else wants me to do something as well, and I add that into everything I need to do, even though I literally don't have time or I can't do it. I still do it anyway because, you know, I want to make the person happy. Or if it's something like that could genuinely just put you out, like it genuinely puts you out mentally or physically, but you do it because you want to help the other person. I don't know, I've kind of learned that I'm definitely a people pleaser. Sorry, I'm trying to like word this the right way. I think I'm trying to learn myself, and I'm also at the same time as like learning myself, I'm sharing it to sort of help other people learn and see as well, because you never know. I feel like representation with all this is a huge, like it matters a lot, because I'm not going to get into it, but basically representation has helped me seeing other people. So anyways, putting yourself first in people pleasing means that you're gonna have to say no, even if you're saying no to yourself with buying, like, it might not even be saying no to a person. It could be saying no to a person when they say, hey, can you do this, or could you please help me do this, and it puts you out too much. It's kind of teaching yourself to say no, I can't, sorry. Putting yourself first, you are going to have to say no to people, and that's a big thing for me because I hate saying no. I love just making people happy and going, you know what, here you go. But I feel like putting yourself first in people pleasing, I'm saying the same word so many times, but putting yourself first in people pleasing will help you in the long run. If you don't, and you just keep saying yes and yes and yes, I feel like when you're older and you're working like big jobs and you're making connections with people and like you're an adult, people are going to realize that you say yes to anything, and they might try and through life use it to their advantage, or like try to, you know, take advantage of you because they know you're just going to say yes, even if you don't want to, because you're people, like, you just want to say, yeah, like, it's all good, and you don't want to make anyone upset. And you don't want to be taken advantage of. And you also want to be able to put yourself first. You want to be physically, mentally, financially happy. You want to be happy and set and okay, and you don't want to be put out because you keep saying yes to people. I think the biggest step with people pleasing and putting yourself first is saying no when it's not right for you. You can still do things and still like make people happy and stuff, but I think it's just putting yourself first in the situations where you're like, no, I don't think I can do that, or I can't afford that, or I really like mentally can't do that. And I feel like it can also kind of stem from like having a friendship with someone, for example, or like a relationship, and you don't want to make them upset. So even if you're unhappy, you just never say anything because you're trying to keep them happy, and you just don't want like a whole drama. You got to think about, in the long run, would you be happy? Would you truly be happy if you stayed like that in the long run? Or do you think it's better to leave and have that little bit of hard bit, but then, you know? And also, if you say no to someone and they go, well, stuff you, I don't really like you, and get all upset, that's on them. That just shows who they are. And it's honestly good because you can see the type of person they are straight away, and you can make sure that you don't keep those people close to you. But I feel like the one true constant you have in life is yourself. And if you're constantly putting everybody else's needs above your own, even if it puts you out, I feel like you're not truly going to be happy. Like, or not like, you're not going to be living your life to its potential because you're too busy running around trying to please everyone else and putting yourself out. Like, if you're spending huge amounts of money, which I'm kind of talking to myself here because I do this a lot. If you're spending huge amounts of money on people's gifts every time a birthday or Christmas comes up, think of like, if you, in comparison to just buying everyone still a thoughtful gift, but just a small one, or even making them, if you really want to be thoughtful. In comparison to doing that, you could be saving so much money, and you could go buy yourself a car, or you could save to like move out or something, or like do whatever you want to do. Like, all that money could go towards something that you need. It didn't, because it all went on presents for people because you wanted to get them big gifts, or you were worried that if you didn't get them a big enough gift or enough presents, they would look down and they'd be like, oh wow. That's how I think. I know that's how I think. And it's not the best thought, because I feel like the real thought should be, someone got you a present. Oh my god, someone got me, like, that's so thoughtful, you didn't even have to. Oh, and I just thought of another point. This also comes to, I don't know if anyone else does this, but I do this a lot. Someone will be like, what do you want for your birthday? And I'll just like respond with, oh, you don't have to get me anything. And they'll be like, no, like, what do you want? Like, I want to get you something. And I'll just be like, no, like, you don't have to get me anything, it's fine. Because I'm scared of putting people out, because I'm a people pleaser. And I'm just like, nah, it's fine, you don't have to. I stopped doing this, I need to get back into it. But saying yes to things, or like just saying, oh, yeah, actually this is, I really want a book for my birthday, or something, you know, like, rather than just rejecting it. And same with when someone offers you help. Don't be scared that you're going to put them out, because I feel like if they're offering, like, it's not going to put them out. If they're offering you help, take it. I'm also the same with help, is people will offer me help and I'll be like, no, it's fine, like, you really don't have to. If someone's offering you help and you need it, and you do, like, you genuinely need it and you think it would help, just say, wow, like, yes, thank you. I feel I'm learning a lot about myself this episode right now. Like, I'm just thinking of it and then I'm like talking it into the mic. That's how it's going. Putting yourself first, especially as a people pleaser, I think is a very big thing, because it opens yourself up to not only receiving help from people and letting people get you things. If they want to buy you a birthday gift, let them buy you a birthday gift. But also not putting yourself out in situations where you feel the need to, or you feel like you have to. Putting yourself first and not putting yourself out financially, mentally, physically, however it may be. Which brings me on to part 2 of this. It's probably not going to be the longest episode, but part 2, which is putting yourself first in a way of, like, whether it's getting out of a bad situation, mentally putting yourself first, whatever situation you might be in, like, I feel like it's when you're in a bad situation, or like not the best situation, but you stay, because it could be because you don't think that you can leave and you just don't look into it enough, or because it's scary, or a countless list of other reasons. But you need to, I think, putting yourself first in a situation like that is such a big thing. Again, relating to it, I think I'm going to talk about first putting yourself first when you're in a bad situation, because you don't, like, it's scary. I know for me personally, I never look into things enough of what I can do, how I can get out of something, how I can do something. I never look into it enough, and the second someone says a word and it's too scary for me, I'm like, no, I don't want to do that because that's too scary, and that's huge. If you look at everything like that, you're going to be stuck. Not like you're not going to be not living your life to its potential. I went to the TikTok Awards last year. I got an invite and I almost said no. I literally typed out a message and I almost said no, which was so crazy that I think about it now. I almost said no, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to have a look and see if I actually can do it. I talked, because it was very last minute, but I talked to any friend that I thought might be able to go. I found a friend that could go. I looked up flights, I looked up accommodation, and we made it work. And let me tell you, it was scary at one point because I got paid the next day that we were there. Or I got paid the night that we were there, not before. So I was running on, after flights and accommodation booked, when we were there, I was running on like $50. $50 until I got paid. So it was scary. But I did it. And it was also scary because it was my first ever time flying, and it was in another state, and it was the TikTok Awards, and I was like, oh my god, is this even real? It was scary. But I did it anyway, because imagine if I didn't. Like, the worst that could have gone wrong, it didn't. It was good. It was so good. And I feel like there's so many, oh my god, what if this happens? What if this happens? But what if it doesn't? What if it goes well? Like, in my head, I feel like the most big what if for me was, oh my god, what if the tickets aren't real? What if this is just like a prank or something on me? The what if that was real was, what if it's all real and it's all happening for a reason, and you're about to go to the TikTok Awards and have the time of your life? And it was that one, and it was great, and I cannot believe I almost said no. But I put myself first, and I was like, no, I'm gonna go. So putting yourself first, even when it's scary, and even when you don't know, like, you need to look into it enough. You need to research the stuff. Like, if you want to move out of home, but you're too scared because you don't know, like, you've never done it before. Obviously, you've never done it before. It's your first time, but what are you going to do? Just sit there and never look into it because you're too scared the whole time? Or, like, not applying to a job that you really want because you're scared that you won't get it or that you don't qualify. But what if you do get it? What if you do qualify? What if they think that you're great? What if you do move out of home? What if you look into it and you're like, you know what, I can do that? What if you move and you're still scared, and then 3 months later you're living out of home and you're doing amazing? What if you can do it? Instead of being like, what if you can't? I feel like you need to also look at the, but what if you can, and what if this happens, and what if my quality of life goes so much higher than I am even imagined? And it's also kind of putting yourself first in a crappy situation when stuff's happening. Like, I feel like I know this for me, I never look into stuff enough. I never look into whether I can move out of home. Like, I am now, but I never before looked into whether I could move out of home. I was always just like, no, I can't. And I wasn't truly putting myself first and putting my mental health first and going, can I? Like, you need to put yourself first. And it's also a really scary thing. It can be scary as well. And putting yourself first can also mean not letting people treat you badly and standing up for yourself, which I know has been really hard for me because I am a people pleaser and I hate any sort of drama, anything like that. I hate it so much. So putting myself first was kind of hard for me and difficult, especially standing your ground. The more that you do it, the more better you'll feel, and I feel like the easier it'll be. And also, it's just better for your mental health, even if the person doesn't like that you're standing your ground. Stand it anyway, because it's good for you. It's a lot better than not saying anything. Even if the response is bad, then don't talk to that person. Don't surround yourself with those people, which is scary if you live with them or something, but putting yourself first is putting your mental health first, above everything. And yeah, if you're in a bad situation, thinking about that and thinking about how you can change that and get out of that. Just truly, I don't know how else to word it, putting yourself first. When you're in a bad situation, thinking, am I truly happy right now? What can I do to change that? How can I put myself first? Just stop thinking about everybody else for a second and all these other things. Just block, I've said this before, block all the noise out. Focus on one thing. Focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. Focus on what's going to benefit you and how are you going to get you out of this situation. Like I said, this is probably going to be a short episode because, yeah, I don't think I can elaborate heaps on that. But if anyone does have any questions, let me know and I'll be sure to answer them. Or anything like that. But yeah, thank you for listening to, I believe it's episode 5 of the Fun with Some podcast. The studio should be having some changes soon. So if you're watching from YouTube, you'll notice. If you're listening from Spotify, probably not going to notice. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked my podcast, if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. If you like listening, feel free to subscribe or follow on whatever platform you're on. And I will see you in a month's time for our next episode. Love you all. Bye.